Hi there. A very good morning and good evening to all of you, depending on wherever you're watching me. This simply starts with another live session with you all. And today I want to talk to you about some of the stocks which are still down, which are still coming at very reasonable levels. But we are still grappling with some of the sectors in which the movement have not taken place, and there are many stocks that are performing extremely well. I'm sorry. So we'll discuss those and also we'll answer your queries along with that. So it's a 20 to 30-minute session in which we'll discuss all the points. Plus, there is news in one of the stocks like Sequence Scientific, and we'll discuss about that stock as well because there have been a lot of queries that have come in on Patreon. I've answered those. Uh, we'll talk about it here in the live session as well because of these bulk deals that are taking place. So, hope you all are doing extremely well with your investments and trading. And I think the lows of 16,780 is perhaps a short term low. And now the markets are set to go higher this month and probably next month as well. So, good evening, Ashish. Walaikum salam, Javed. Hi, Mr. Pawar. A very good evening to Sri Vignesh. Hello, Bipul. And hi, everyone. And thanks a lot for all your support and being on live sessions and watching my videos, etc., and appreciating them. Kindly do subscribe to the channel. Do subscribe if you're watching, if you have not subscribed, and also become a member on Patreon if you're able to. If you're not able to become a member on Patreon, you can join YouTube, or you can email me and probably join me on WhatsApp as well. You get the same benefits as a Patreon member is getting, so there's no difference. But if you're finding difficulty in being a member on Patreon, you can just email me with your WhatsApp number, and probably I'll contact you uh, with respect to how to join on WhatsApp with a similar fee and yearly membership, etc. All right. So, as far as the market is concerned, doing extremely well, and now it looks like, although I've been wrong many times with the markets and all, but it looks like we are headed towards 17,800 uh, over the next month or so, 2 weeks or so. Uh, Yes, there could be some up and down movement, but I think we have weathered the storm that took place in late November, and now things are looking up. So those who are invested in the market can keep on investing, can keep on building their positions, whereas those who are trading and having positions from 17,000 levels can keep on holding at least for this month. And we'll see how January pans out, how FII data pans out, etc. So that's about the markets. As far as the topic of today's discussion is concerned, there are many stocks that are still available at very attractive levels in pharmaceutical, in consumer, in white goods, in cement, uh, and real estate. And anything you look at, there are a number of stocks in which probably you can probably buy now from a 1 year perspective and probably make the money in the next 6 months or so. But have a 1 year perspective in mind. I'll name a few here, but do go ahead and have your own research done before getting into any of them. Uh, One of the stocks is Sequence Scientific. I would like to discuss about that because I've come to know that there have been a lot of bulk deals that have taken place in the stock. Uh, we have not come to know as far as, so last time I checked around 5:30 p.m. An hour back, and there was no update with whoever has bought, official update per se, but there have been a large bulk deal in which one of the larger members have exited, and two or three members have bought into it, or large investors have bought into the stock. I have always believed that Sequent is a top class company, and the way it has come down from 330 levels at around 160, 170, it looks extremely attractive. And this is one of the many stocks that I'm talking about that have come to very reasonable levels. Yes, next quarter could be difficult. I mean, the December quarter, March would be slightly better, and things will look up from FY23. So that is the time to really get in. So if you have a 18-month time frame, you can definitely buy here In 18 months, I see 270, 300 coming on Sequent again. So these are very decent levels to probably buy into Sequent Scientific at these levels. We'll come to know about the bulk deals, and those on Patreon or whoever are the members will get to understand as to how things have panned out in the stock so far. Uh, so that's our Sequent. Another stock that looks very attractive in the pharmaceutical space is Loris Labs. I've talked about it earlier. The way it has been consolidating around 500, it looks like it is now ready for a major up move, and I see a decent upside in the stock in the coming weeks. Yes, it could probably for a week or 10 days may consolidate between 520 to 480 levels, but I think by March, April next year, you will see the stock probably at new highs, and in a year's time, I see a major upside in the stock because there are a lot of things in the pipeline that is going to take place in Loris. So in that regard, one is looking at something like 800 on the stock in the next 18 months, or 60% upside from these levels. 800, 850, very much possible in the next 12 to 18 months. Similarly, 330, 300, 320, very much possible on Sequent in the next 12 to 18 months. Coming to another space which is struggling at the moment but will not struggle that much, I'm pretty confident going forward. So next probably 3 months could be difficult. So the March quarter could be difficult for it. So next 6 months you can accumulate these stocks, and these are the auto ancillary space. I think they will struggle because of the kind of you can say US truck orders that are coming in, the kind of sales that many of the tractor makers or car makers are having. We are going to have a couple of quarters of difficulty, and these will be opportunities in auto ancillary to buy into the gems. Would like to name a few auto ancillary that I really like. One is Endurance Tech, a big favorite of mine, a big favorite of FII's, and that's why it got sold into big time last month. But can be bought here again. These are all 18 months play, not immediate play that could really perform well immediately, but those looking to invest for 1.5 months or so can continue to do so in that regard. So Endurance Tech is one. Second is GNA Excel. It is also a top class company. It has come down from the highs, and may still be in a range for the next 3 4 months. So keep on accumulating on dips. Don't buy in a heap or quickly. Just buy in tranches of 20 25% of whatever you want to put in. So GNA Excel is another one. Endurance Tech is one. Motherson Sumi around 215, 220 looks very attractive. The downside in these companies is very limited, and that is why I'm bringing these companies to you, because uh, see, I don't know whether the move will come through immediately, but we'll see going forward as to how much time it takes. So time frame could be between 12 to 18 months, but again, a Motherson Sumi could be headed to new highs and probably headed towards 320, 330 in the next 18 months. So that's another one. So that's three very good auto ancillary firms that you can look at. Another one is probably Automotive Excel. This is another company that makes axles and shafts for large and medium commercial vehicles, and also for cars. Their business for cars, etc. So it also looks good at these levels, and on decline. So it's not an these are not immediate buys in the auto ancillary space, but should do well. Coming to the real estate pack, and I may be having some of the stocks from now on, whichever I talk about. So Godrej Properties looks good around 2000 1900 levels. IB Real Estate around 165 170 look really good. Brigade Enterprises, Oberoi Reality in the real estate pack. These look good. So there are plethora of stocks in IT. You look at a Tata Elixir, L&T Infotech, uh, the erstwhile favorites, they'll all continue to do well. Sonata Software, and probably Tech Mahindra. Tech Mahindra has run up a bit, so on any sort of declines, it can be bought. So you look at a gamut of you can say stocks in these different fields. they look very attractive from an investment point of view. If you want to trade, you have to look at moving averages and other features and other technical aspects, and before getting into any of them, because many of these stocks are still struggling on a moving average basis, on technical basis. And probably it will take time for these technical charts to become extremely strong, but from a fundamental basis all look pretty good. As far as white goods are concerned, so Blue Star, you look at something like Voltas, you look at a Whirlpool even at 1942,000. I mean, it has, I think 1820, 1800 is a strong support, very strong support. 1800 came in around 2020, I think, when the stock fell a lot. It was around 1800, 1680, 1700. So I don't see 1800 being broken so easily. Yes, there have been pressure on the stock because of massive selling, probably from FIIs, etc. We'll come to know about the shareholding pattern next month. But Whirlpool is a very, very decent company, trading at around, you can say 40 times, if I'm not wrong, around 40 times or less than 40 times earnings. Very attractively priced, very low downside. Those who are holding can keep on holding. Those who want to buy, wait for 1850 levels to probably buy. Blue Star looks good, as I explained, with respect to the summer season that would come about. And then Voltas also look very attractive. So many stocks in a number of sectors that look very good from a 18-month point of view. And I think the market will take shape once this Fed policy is out of the way, whether this way or that way, whatever comes out from the Fed policy. And until and unless it is not very detrimental for the market, I think the markets should perform extremely well. So keep accumulating after 15 December, either after 15 December, 2 3 days of downside, and then we see a big up move in all the stocks, or after 15 December, we see an immediate up move in the market, complete market, be it mid cap, small cap, large cap. So be ready for that. And for that, if you have the money, you can accumulate any of these stocks going forward. If you want one-on-one interaction with me, and you want questions to be answered, etc., become a member on Patreon or YouTube or WhatsApp, and I'll be answering all your queries in there exclusively. All right, so I'm ready to answer your queries here. Please do use the super chat, super sticker feature that helps me grow the channel. That help you also ask me questions and eke out answers in greater details. So kindly do that. So let's begin with the questions that have really poured in so far. So people are asking about Sigachi. I think 400 to 350 very good levels to accumulate, but there are two buts in that. One is that it is a small cap company, so be careful about that. You may not get the returns immediately. That's one thing. Or if you get the returns immediately, you might not be able to sell it and it will come down again. It's a good 2 3 year bet at around 420 rupees. It is trading at 30 times earnings, which is not very expensive. So yes, these are decent levels to buy now, the stock. See, Larsen and Toubro Infotech keep on holding. 2 year target, in my opinion, is close to 8,000 on the stock, around 8,000 or so. So you'll get your money, etc. 18 months to 2 years, you'll make good money in Larsen and Toubro Infotech. Jubilant Ingrevia, I am not that aware of, so I won't be able to comment much on the stock at the moment. See, Latent View Analytics is a very decent company, high margin business, very good business, profitability, etc. But it is expensive. It is not very cheap, trading at 20, 30 times sales, etc. Uh, Try to buy in very difficult times in the markets, and don't buy now. Probably the time was to buy at 16,900, 17,000 levels. See, Sona BLW is a very good long-term story, but short-term it is expensive. Again, it can come down 10 to 20%. If you are a 3 to 4 year player, then yes, you can buy here, and if you can take a 20% hit, definitely buy here. But if you can wait, probably wait for a decline in the market in the next 2 3 months, and then get into the stock, that would be a better thing to do. See, LTTS is also a good company as Larsen Tubro Infotech. So keep on holding if you're having it and buy if you don't have it. So Nathan, thanks for your contribution. See, my view on most of the financials is same. So avoid, I would say, the for the time being, when it was going up, people were very positive on the stock Fino payments, but now it is coming down. I would say avoid completely this financial space. Apart from three companies I've always mentioned, Bajaj, Twins, and HDFC Bank, it's a complete avoid this sector altogether. Okay. Your Root Mobile View was a good call. Should I buy more? See, Root Mobile was extremely cheap at 1800, 1900. Now I would say wait for declines in the whole market to buy. Don't add now. If you are a trader, if you are an investor, yes, you can buy. A 2 year target of 3000 plus is very much possible. Uh, Immediately, I don't see a huge move again. There could be some up and down movement, so that's my call. SBI Cards is a buy. It's a very decent, you can say, company. It's a portfolio stock. It's not a stock in which you can trade and make money. You can definitely, I mean, in any stock, but it's very difficult to do that on SBI Card. So I would say probably if you buy for 3 years at least and hold on to the stock. I've talked about automobile Excel. I'm automotive Excel. I'm very positive on it, and you can reverse the tape and listen to that as well. Coal India complete avoid major, you can say, government companies. I would say just avoid and look at private sector big companies to make money in. See, Dalmia Bharat, the uptrend will really begin when it crosses 2000 2050. I don't know whether it has crossed or not. Then probably 2600 opens up. Otherwise, it may just remain in a range between 2050 to 1750 or so. So that's a call on Dalmia Bharat. Right. So DMart you bought at 4800. A disclaimer: I may be having the stock. I think a target of 6000 possible over the next 2 months on DMart. It is showing very good signs on the technical chart. 4650 should be your stop loss and hold on to the stock. Once it crosses say 4850 4880, then the big up move will begin. So we are waiting for that. The breakout could happen in a few days. Shree Cement is a good company to invest. Again, do not trade into something like a Shree Cement or an HDFC Bank, etc. Buy and hold for 3 years. It could be a doubler over the next 4 years. It could move up 60 to 70% over the next 3 years. That's the, you can say, pedigree of a company like Shree Cement. See, I prefer HDFC Life in the life insurance space, although I do not prefer buying into them for other reasons. But the best of the companies in this space is HDFC Life. That's my call. See, Birlasoft positive, but I think 430, 440 would be good levels to get into. Would say slightly expensive. Otherwise, I'm positive on the stock from a longer term point of view. I think Pidilite has made a bottom at around 2200. At this time, I might be having the stock. I think the next target here is 2600 over the next 2 years. It may gyrate and then go up. Remember, stocks like Pidilite, Asian Paints, etc take time. So they will go up 20 25% every year. They won't go up more than that. That's how the structure of these stocks have been. They are very safe investments, and that's how Pidilite has performed. Rohit, thanks for your contribution. If you have any query, you can shoot that to me. So Pidilite 2650 over 2 years, 2400 over 1 year is possible on the stock. Positive on Prestige Estate, as I mentioned, those all the companies, Oberoi Reality, say Godrej Properties, IB Real Estate, Prestige Estate, these are all top-notch companies into the real estate bag that should do well over the long run. Divis is a good company for 3 years. I think you should get 50%, 50 to 60% from here over the next 3 years on Divis lab. These are attractive levels to get into. So in pharma, when I was talking about Laurus and Sequent, so you can add Divis, Dr. Reddy's to that name. Even Aurobindo Pharma, the way it has made a bottom at around 640, 680, around those levels, 680 or so, and the way it has come back, I think even Aurobindo looks good, although Aurobindo, there is an issue that they could be having issues with US FDA, etc. So probably Divi's, Dr. Reddy's, they look much better. See, happiest mind, I'm positive the way things are panning out, but they will feel cost pressure. They will feel pressure of the attrition that is happening, and there are issues with the new variant that has come in for countries in Europe and North America. So, uh, happiest mind, the valuations look stretched. That is the only thing. Otherwise, I see 1700 on the stock by next year end, and probably going higher depending on the results. But the valuations are extremely stretched in something like an Happiest Mind. In fact, compared to that larger IT companies like Infosys, TCS, Tech Mahindra, even a Tata Elxsi, L&T Infotech, they look much better because they have also come down from the top. Okay. No comment on Explore Solutions at the moment. Let one or two more results come out, and then I'll probably make a video on it. At this point of time, it's an avoid. Reliance Industries headed towards 2600, 2650 in the next few months. So that's the call on Reliance. Macrotech is also a good company, but these larger real estate firms, Prestige, Oberoi, or something like Godrej Properties are better. So IGL has been caught in a range, and probably it's an avoid if you want to buy for a trade. For investment purposes, it's a decent bet to get into at these levels. And potentially double in 2 to 4 years. Please tell me a share which can potentially double in 2 to 4 years. In 4 years, I see even something like an Asian Paints doubling in the next 4 years, the way things are panning out. But then take your own call. It's very difficult to say in the next 4 years what could happen. But Asian Paints look like at 18% CAGR from say 3000 levels, it could go to closer to 6000 in the next 4 years. See, Kilpis demerger, even I'm waiting for that. It's been a while, and I think it will happen by next year end. So December 2022 could be a timeline that we could think of when the demerger will happen. As far as the stock is concerned, I feel that 400 is a very huge support. I don't see it breaking, and 480, 500 is a very strong resistance. So it could be in a range until and unless it comes out with fabulous numbers, which are not possible because the pandemic has thankfully subsided. Uh, I think it will remain in a range between 400 on the lower end and 500 on the upper end for the next 1 quarter or so, and then we'll see. But I'm very positive that by 2025 or 2024, 3 to 4 years, you will see the stock at 2000 levels. A TTK Prestige is a very decent, you can say 20% compounder for you, 18-20% compounder for you. It's a portfolio stock that you should be buying. Otherwise, for trading, it's difficult. FL can be accumulated at current levels, but better to buy below 1100. That would have been better to probably get into NFL. Britannia or Nestle? I would say Nestle. I think Britannia is facing some issues of higher debt. Britannia is facing some issue of higher cost because of sugar prices, etc. And Nestle looks very good below 20,000, close to 19,000 if you get it around 19,000, 18,500. That these are good levels to get into something like a Nestle. All right, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot for being online. Please like and subscribe my channel. Hit the bell icon so you can get my videos straight away when I post it. And I'll be online again on Sunday evening. Thank you.